Oh, so rude. It's oh so rude. It's oh so rude. It's oh so rude. Ooh, what? Hi. Welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Heoka empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things, and I'm a little gassy in the indogesti in that area. The heck caused that? I wished I had a Sierra Mist earlier. Ugh, I like those. Maybe I'll walk up to the corner store and get me a Sierra Mist. Or a banana smoothie. Icy. Not a smoothie, a banana icy. I love those things, man. Banana flavor. Artificial banana flavor is like a frequency that can't be matched by much. Either you love it or you hate it. Either it's your vibe or it ain't. So, my name's Marge. I'm a yoke empath. I just like to run my mouth. Blah, blah, blah. And eat cookies. These are hella dense, man. They're so dense that I can't even eat a whole one. I'm just like, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. You know, it's been an eventful day. I woke up to a lifeless dog, and I had to revive my dog Tucker. It was traumatic. It was a traumatic event. The bright side is I am used to traumatic events, and I handle the situation, and then after it's over, my energy field goes, whew. Dang, and the older you get, the more traumatic events you have, you dip lower, and it's harder to bounce back. I was like, man, Mom, because it happened 4 o'clock. I'm not going to wake somebody up and be like, this was scary and it happened to me. Although I'm sure that there are plenty, I mean, I could probably reach out on the interwebs, you know. Someone's always up somewhere of my vibe. Somebody's always watching me. What's she gonna do next? That crazy Marge. Fucking Marge. What's she gonna do? I'm like, I'm programmed, man. I'm programmed by stuff. Society won, but the stuff that I programmed, like, it was cool. The Chitty Chitty Bang Bang song came on. That's one of my favorite movies ever because I watched it when I was 2 years old and I loved it then. I loved it now, so I've loved it my whole entire life, and that's a long time to love something. To consistently like something, because usually people like shit and then they get bored. Like toys. Toys, and I'm one of those broken toys that got kicked to the curb, but I still find the joy and the love and light, and I'm here to help other people know it doesn't matter what you go through in life. I hear all these rich people complain about like all this insurance stuff. Well, it's your game that made up the racket, man. Like me and Mom, it's amazing how healthy people can be with like nothing, you know. Frank, I found him through Keygen. He had a stroke recently, and I was like, you know, Mom, you were 38 when you had your stroke. They thought you were a junkie. They didn't know you. And they were freaking the nurses, you know. I know everyone loves nurses. I haven't had that experience. I heard them talking trash about my mom. They said she's probably just another druggie from Central Valley, and she don't like drugs. She don't do drugs. And I heard that, and I went out there, and I'm like, and because she was screaming, she was having a major brainstem stroke by then. I go out to the nurse's station. I'm like, go get the fucking doctor, because I'm just a kid, and unless you make a scene, they're not gonna listen to you. And I'm like, I heard what you said. She ain't like that. And I spoke out. I've always just spoken out. You got it wrong. You got the wrong scenario. Maybe you're a druggy junkie and you see aspects in her that you think are you're reflecting in yourself. Maybe you're taking opiates, you know, from the counter. Maybe it's you. Probably right. At 100%, but I'm right more than I'm wrong. Hey, okay, hey. So I was 15. Got her home. She didn't get to go to no rehab, no fancy. What the frick is rehab? It's like a place where it's like a hotel where people can not be burden their family, so a bunch of strangers can take care of them and nurse them back. That's all that shit is all going away. All of it. It's all combusting. The old America is dying. See, there's a way that Turtle Island was supposed to be if the control freaks came over from the colonies and would have cooperated with my ancestors. No, but they had to take it all for themselves. They didn't share. Sharing is caring. So now there's 500 years of karma It was just control freaks taken, and slaves, and just women being farmed for their eggs to create people so people can eat them and shit. It's just, and all these truths are coming out, and it's ugly and it's gross, and it's the reality of the world. The thing of it is that we got to blast our light on all that dark shit so the new earth can emerge, can be birthed from that, because we can have heaven on earth. We can. People just have to degree. People just have to quit. You know, people. I was like, Mom, it's funny how much money people spend traveling all over the earth, but basically wherever you go in one continent, I think everybody should go to every continent and see place in every continent. But really, geologically, from a geological standpoint, desert's desert. You know, jungle's jungle. It don't matter what continent. It's all the same. But the systems have been created for some people to profit that. I was looking at the map today, and I was like, look how much freaking area is in Antarctica for just rich people access. It's all the people with the money and the control freaks get all the prime property, and it's not fair. So what's going to happen is all that stuff is going to be abolished. It's going to change. It's going to evolve. It's everything's crumbling. Everything. I wouldn't be surprised if the power grid went out in a way that it hasn't ever. Because all the people that pay themselves today, the six-figure, they don't do the work. They just talk about all the work that needs to be done, but nobody is going out doing the work. So the infrastructure is dissolving, and fittings maintenance needs to be performed. I was a maintainer in the Air Force. I got to do Mom's nails because they're starting to chip. I'm completely cognizant of keeping things maintained. So much so that I think that, you know, sometimes I want to do more than I'm capable of because I'm only one human being. That's why I do, you know, I'm trying to find my same freak tribe. They're coming in. Thank you. I love when frickin' Don't Drink the Kool-Aid shares my shit. Where we going, where we go all. We're all connected. Kids are doing good things, man. People of all ages are doing good things. We're taking our country back. You know? I was thinking of a story. I made notes. Kitty, kitty. I made notes today. See, because all these... And because, you know, just like geography is all the same, like plants or places, you know, you go to a state park, you know, oh yeah, some of the rock constellations, yeah, they're really cool. I weird kid bounce for geography and rocks and all that stuff. I'm a nerd. I've always been into that. I don't got no friends, so I just always read encyclopedias and shit like that because people never want to hang out because they don't vibe like me. And so I was thinking about a story. From my perspective, this is not my story. This is a story of a guy named Winnow. I call him Winnie. I always call him Weenie. Weenie. He was one of my brother's best friends in high school. And they went for a motorcycle ride. Hot summer day, you know. As a matter of fact, 1989, the constellations were right around consistent with 30 years ago, so the Saturn cycle. So the last time Saturn was going around. So that was like around operation. That was like, because when he graduated. Anyway, I remember everything. I'm like, I remember history, because when he got out of basic, he went down to LA for the Rodney King riots. So it must have been around that time. Anyway, they were going for a motorcycle ride down to, and they were coming back from Whiskey Town, like in Northern California, Redden. It's where JFK actually did a talk there one time. It's where the sinkhole is. He stood out there, you know. So, you know, I can go out any time and stand where JFK stood, you know, in my homeland, you know. So that's the vibe. That's the vibe of my homeland. I'm ready to go back to my homeland. Somewhere, maybe not there, but somewhere around there. Things are, anyway. So they were coming back, and there's a dude in like a Studebaker like van. It's like the old milk truck. Is what it was, from like the late '60s, early '70s, like full panel van. Like before the Econovan. Frickin', and back then they didn't make this shit that frickin' gave like a tin can. This shit is sturdy and it didn't give. And so this old boy had been at the lake, or heading up to the lake, and they were coming back, or vice versa. Can't exactly remember which, because I remember seeing pictures even, but I can't remember of which way it was. But either way, old boy in the van or truck, whatever, Studebaker thing, had been drinking, smoking weed all day, you know, and two guys on a high school out of high school, you know, two young bucks out there, you know, cruising for chicks on their crotch rockets and stuff, you know, they're riding around, and old boy came across his lane and freaking hit them head on. And Wendell was big dude. I don't know, I haven't seen him years and years, but he worked out, and his freaking legs were like small tree trunks, and he's this big guy, solid guy. He worked hard for it, and nice guy. We danced at a high school dance one time. It was I was always awkward because I always want to lead, so, but it was cool. Anyway, he crushed the gas can like a tin can with his legs and his nuts. I never looked at the picture because I don't like looking at other people's private things like that, especially if I know him. I mean, if it was someone I didn't know, I'd be like, yeah, okay, case study. It's a case study, but I didn't know him, so I didn't look. But evidently one of his nuts was like the size of a grapefruit. Poor guy, you know. He was drinking and driving, and I used to do that because I lost my ego. I drank plenty. I got arrested a couple of times. I don't drink anymore. That's why I don't drink. Yes, Benny, I'm coming, Benny. Benny Barrington of Bennyville, USA. Benny in a bit. Come on, I got life lessons to tell. Stories about. I don't want to talk over that. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go. Back. Good. Good boy. On the leg. On the nose. Safety first. But the guy got off. The guy that hit them, it was like his fourth offense. He got off because he was related to one of the judges. So, I guess both my brother and Wendell both learned a lesson that day because they just became part of the system. Because I think Wendell's like a DA in some one of those middle town that's dissolving. But you know, he and his family, before the world closed up. You know, they're always vacationing in Tahoe. They're always going to, you know, they're living the big life. So, but all the cities are becoming the cities of fallen angels, every single one of them. But they look nice. I mean, they look. There's palm trees lining the palm trees. You know, the streets are all black. I wonder what the budget in America for just yellow and white paint for painting lines on the street. People know what fucking ride is. No, they know exactly the damn well what side of the street to drive on. It's just wasteful. It's waste. It's fraud. It's all coming out. People do too much. They do too much. So, you know, there's people that are just trying to get by. There's people that just really want to play this game of chess in life. And I learned how to play chess when I was 4 or 5 years old, and I don't particularly like it. Nope. So I know the minds of the types of people that like to use people for pawns. That's all it is. That's all control is using people for pawns to do what you want. So at the end of your life you can go, I did all of this. I did this. Like it's like people are building up an energetic like resume of how many lives they've ruined because they felt bad about themselves from shit that happened to them when they were a kid. I was talking about that today. I was like, Mom, I said, with all this exposure and these women and people speaking out of their truth, and men too, they're standing up to their accusers, you know, because women are abusers too. It's a frequency. It ain't a freaking. It's something that's in somebody, not in men or in women. It's just people make bad choices, and especially when they do it from ego. It's just, I mean, people eat people because they can. Oh yeah, I ate a person once, so you can say you did, and so you can run around with other. Oh yeah, well, what, you know, what's your favorite part? I mean, that's not what this world was for. You don't get to eat people. You don't get to do kids. You don't get to harm animals. You just don't get to be abusers. You don't get to bully people. I bully bullies, but that makes me a bully, so that makes me wrong. Wrong in life. Even when I'm a dick to the people that are dicks, I'm still being a dick. Ain't no better than them. How's that for accountability? How's that for self-awareness? I was talking to my dad today, my father figure, my masculine role model. He's a balanced Virgo. He's a balanced man. He's grounded. They're pretty grounded on the farm. He's and I love the men that are try and work hard to be balanced in their masculine and feminine energies, and that's just being okay with being sensitive and stuff, and just knowing what the right thing to do is. And even if it makes those, you know, soothing somebody, if it makes you uncomfortable, it don't matter. You got to make them feel uncomfortable. And you know, God bless those. You know, like, I'm not real good at painting. I'm getting real good at painting nails. I'm gonna start, like, I'm gonna get little brushes and see if I can't do, like, paint little pictures on mom's nails and stuff and get fun with it, cause I get inspired, cause I watch stuff that is kind of outside my box, like unpolished. I think that, you know, she's a witch, and I don't care if she's light witch, dark witch, you know, just please don't cause no spell on me, that cause me no harm. And as long as you stand up, you know, you're upright with people, people leave you alone, you know. I always ask people, like, if I go into a situation and someone's a little out of their mind, I'll ask them, "Is something you got something on board? What do you got on board? What do you want? What's on board? What am I dealing with here? What kind of frame of mind? Are you alcohol? Are you drinking? Are you on marijuana? Are you, you know?" I'll ask people that, because sometimes, you know, people get in different frequencies and they get different ideas about stuff, and then that's when calamity and spark happens. You know, people want to get in the mix. People are ready and raring. They're ready for the guild wars, as the peace dealer Michael says. He talks about the guild wars. They're finding their tribes. You know, people are literally getting ready to go. They're coming into their spirit. They're finding their freedom within themselves, and they want to match that in their exterior. So they're going to fight out and lash out so that they can make their reality match their insides. People want peace on earth. The jig is up. It's really quite beautiful. So when I was talking to Mr. I, you know, we were like, he's got a really sweet. He's got the kind of relationship with his gal that I would like to have with a gal of my own one day, and I'm ready to be in a relationship. I don't I don't do the kind of girls that do dating apps. So I mean, I've tried them over the years, like Tango, like 10, 12 years ago. I tried this one. I've tried Zook. I'll just see what's out there, because I don't ever go out, but it's hard to, I'm not a dater. I just see girls and I'll be like, hey, let's see if we have stuff in common, you know? And then I usually get, I'm straight. And I'm like, all right, peace out. Alright. I hope you don't bend and break ever. Shit. I think everybody should be able to experiment freely without, like, being labeled something, like, you know. I thought it was cool about I'm Weird Kid stuck on freaking The Umbrella Academy right now. Because I started watching it when it came out, and then I wasn't ready for it last year, and so I was doing other shit. And then so it came back on and then it was right when the second season came out, so I still got like 4 episodes left of the second season. I'm like, everywhere I go, oh, Umbrella Academy, you watch a lot, you know. I'm like, I'm just a 46-year-old dorky lady, as Benny cloudily walks through the he's such a problem child. So I was telling Mr. Risky today, because I was ready for a Betty. That's his girlfriend. I'm ready for a Betty. I'm ready for a Betty like you got, like that kind of relationship, you know. And I think about Betty. Betty is also a slang word that I remember from when I was 15, 6 years, all the skater dudes. I love the girls that like this guy, the skater girl. I just love the girls I like were always ended up like the deep, most douchiest dudes. These guys like had their content was just lacked in their ability, but they could skate and they could pound, so whatever. You know. But I just always watch the coolest chicks with the dumbest dudes. And vice versa. I saw a lot of really cool dudes with just the dumbest chicks, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Just ill matched, I guess. Benny! Pickens are slim and redden. Benny! Benny, don't make me. Benny, move along. Love you, bud. Come on. Go back over there and sit on the sun chair in the shade. It's lazy. Oh, Cat's in the spot. Cat beat you there. Cat beat Benny to the sun and chair. Cat beat Benny to the sun and chair. Benny got dirt and goop and all your mess, Benny. Messy Benny. But so skaters in the 80s, you know, that's what they called the girls, skate betties. They called them skate betties. And they were cute. They were the girls that had tattoos then, so now they're like, I don't know, and then they kind of morphed into like rockabilly girls, and then like just whatever. Just some identify with Rosie the Riveter. You know, a lady in the streets. You know, it ain't hard. Skate betties. That takes me back. Skate betties. Kings are falling down. So yeah, all these people that like all these nerdy people and stuff that got picked on in school and stuff is that they took they're the ones that took all poli-sci and stuff like that. And so they just put them, they were the pawns in school and got bullied, beat up, and then they created this society where it's like Sims in real life, right? But it don't jive with how the heart space. It's not good for the collect. It's not what's good for everybody. They're just doing what's good for their own psychological profile. And the whole world is like, no, you can't do that anymore. No, you can't traffic human beings. No, you can't sell people. You can't let people make medical products, no matter how much they pay for the license, that people inject in women inject in their faces that come from baby foreskins, and then cavalierly discuss it on late night talk show, and then go watch their movies and pay them millions of dollars, and then they get all this free shit for doing weird shit like that, and you know. And there's enough for everybody to get, you know, to have their share of all the taxes, but all the greedy people just been greedy, and now there's little people. See, I'm well-mannered. I believe in you don't touch people and put your hands on people unless you're protecting yourself. My record's pretty good, and I don't know, I'd like to hold that record. Let's see how long I can hold that record and never just popping somebody in the face. Even though in my mind I imagine it, I think about it all the time. People do. Well, you can imagine stuff. You can't act on stuff. You gotta have the emotional control, but there's too many people on the world right now. They don't got no emotional control. Look at them. They can't even not eat things to make them unhealthy. Because obesity is a much bigger problem than the Rona. You know, and it's easily remedied. You just burn more calories than you eat. The Air Force held my rank for 2 years. I was behind everybody else. I was the oldest airman basic everywhere I went. But people didn't treat me like that. I'm like, rank is stupid because these people make rank because they could pass a test, and I was never good at tests. Because I see the possibility of a reality where all answers can be true, if people look at it from a certain way. And then the math and numbers, forget it, because I'm just having relationships. I'm just having stories in my head of how the 4 and the 9 ran off, or happily ever after. I was telling Mom today, I said, you know, Mom, I said the only class I ever failed, like straight up got an F on, there are classes that I got like bad grades in because I just couldn't find the patterns. Like, it was mostly because of the teacher. I didn't want to listen to what the teacher had to say. It's boring. My econ teacher is the worst. Anyway, but I failed history Because I never believed what those freaking books said. You need to go back inside, Benno. I never bought that storyline, you know? So, and now everybody else is like, yeah, that ain't right. I'm like, okay, thank you for seeing what I see. Thank you for finally seeing and clarifying. Go check out my snapnacks on Instagram. Snap, whatever. I got pictures the other night of freaking the moon with thank you for sharing me again. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. That's like 2 times in like 2 days. I woke up to that. I didn't know they shared, and then they did, and then because I get a pop in my stats because I just tell stories, man, of my history of where I've been, but I got some really cool pictures of the moon. But the clouds are behind the moon. Look, check that out. You can't really tell because of the reflection, but the clouds are fucking behind the moon. So that very well could have been, I don't know, it was a trip. I don't know. And you want to see the coolest part? Check out that timestamp for when it happened. That's when that picture was taken. Cloud behind the moon, August 2nd, 2020, 2222. That was me this morning, looking at my camera, because I don't remember taking them. And I don't do things that impair myself that much. So, but I did recently ask the powers and the beings that be my soul sisters, solar. I did ask them that. I told them I'm ready to receive whatever frequency they want to give me. So if they want to reveal them, see, cause that's why people don't see UFOs and aliens, because they're like, oh my god, it's not real. I've seen so many traumatic events. Seeing people, there's when people get so scared, their spirits come up out of their body, and they literally just freak out. Like, I don't know how many people have actually seen somebody in shock that has just seen like a traumatic event. Like my brother in that motorcycle, Wendell broke both his wrists because they snapped, and just for that to happen, just to be, I imagine, to be on a motorcycle, a truck comes in your lane, you hit him head on, it barely put a dent in the front of that van, and the guy got off because he was related to the judge. And this is back in the 80s, so this is all the corruption that I speak out about, because these judges have always been the judges, and then they get to appoint the city, and it's just a small group of people that have monopolies on cities. It's all exclusion. So it makes it hard for someone like me who's trying to find a place to live when I run my mouth about shit, because so many people are not agreement with what I told Mr. today. I'm like, Trump's got my vote. Yep, he's got my vote. President Trump has my vote. I called him President Trump for the first time. That was like, for me to even acknowledge that, that's me getting over my ego, and the light changed right when that happened. So that was he's done all the shit that they all have been saying. They've been juggling just back and forth, never doing anything, and old boy says, I'm a bigger clown. The real clown's in here. He's a Heyoka too, man. He's a contrarian. He's getting everybody to see all the stuff that this whole broken system has been trying to hide for their own seedy freaking gain and profit. And Hillary is about to go up. I hope they haul her off in handcuffs. I hope they do. I'm hoping. I hope they come in and get her. Get her. Get her. I was looking at pictures of her. Thanks, don't drink the Kool-Aid. I was looking at pictures of her when she was young. She looked like she ate people when she was in college. Ugh, she is about to get... It's about to rain down on all these evil... Okay. One thing about contrarian is... You might be contrarian too. There's a lot of contrarians. There's everybody's Heyoka. If you find aspects of me that you recognize and you appreciate, hell, you Heyoka too. Everybody. As long as you recognize that in every human being, even me, there is darkness. And every human being has the same potential to do the same behavior. if they fall into temptations. I woke up, I wanted to drink so bad yesterday. Those are my demons. Because it just takes me to transcend. It takes me into vibrational frequencies that I love to escape. I love escapism. I love hallucinogens. Give it to me. Anything that doesn't come from a human being, I will try it. If it comes from a plant, I will try it. If it, if it's made in a lab, I will probably try it. As long as it's not a byproduct of or taking something that had to give up something for free that was taken didn't have its free will. I've done shrooms since I was a kid. LSD. I've done it all. All of it, just because I wanted to try everything, but alcohol is the easiest to escape. It's also the most potent because it removes your spirit. It literally takes your spirit. It removes the oxygen from your blood. That is what we breathe. That is the difference between my dog this morning when he was dying. I had to summon his spirit back into his vessel. He's only 10 years old. He's got many years left, because it was a freak accident. And what occurred to me, it's like I was telling Mom this morning, I said, God, there by the grace, seconds to inches, I want to drink so bad. If I would have drank, I would have passed out. I wouldn't have woken up to acknowledge that. And then I would have had to take him off to have him cremated today, or, and then that burden. See, if I would have drank, and then that could have been the outcome. Knowing that and then that taking that burden, that's why people continue to drink, is because it's like, shit, I killed my dog, so now I feel bad, so I'm gonna drink to take away that pain. But then when you drink, it always puts you, and you just replay it over and over. You replay it, the scene over and over, and how you made the choice, because we all know the choices we make. Some people just admit to it, most people don't. But because those are my demons, those demons that are saying, Marge, just go get a 6-pack, and you can always walk back up and get, another 20 ounce if you want, just go ahead, just do that, just go, come on, that's temptation, And those are the demons that I can't listen to, because this life ain't about me. I got words to spread. I was like, Mom, I spread my words like freaking dudes spread their semen. I just talk. Just yammer. Anyway, what do you do? I have a lot of time on my hands. Everybody already thinks I'm crazy. I'm the last to know, that's all. So the world is changing. I just want people to lighten up. I got to meditate about freaking hour and a half today, man. It was solid. No, actually, no, today was only like 50. It was like an hour. It was like a straight up hour. That was today, because I was just so excited to see Tucker, man, all day long. Oh, buddy, he got to eat I got Mom, she finished up some ice cream. He got to lick the lid. I mean, it's like, dude, you get a whole fish stick, dude. All is right in the world. Today is your day, homie. Thank you for not going into the light, my love. So, anyway, how long have I been yammering? Where we go one, where we go all. Oh, backgammon? I had it when I was a kid. I never had anybody to play with, so I would just like, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. With the little white and black knobs and stuff. Dude, and Keegan too. Keegan and Don't Drink the Kool-Aid. Don't Drink the Kool-Aid. Go look at the video that she just did on cannibalism. It's pretty gnarly. It's, what was that old saying? Tits on a Ritz cracker. Whatever that means. I don't know. I think you guys are great. You guys are, finally people are watching, man. I've been doing these videos in 3.5 years, man. And my rule is, this is my own I give myself these little conditions about life just to see if I can do it. See, I never monetize my channel because I don't want to give the tubes money. I don't want them to profit from anything that I have to say. So people PayPal me every now and again. Some people like PayPal better than any birthday card. Anything I ever got, a birthday card growing up. Better than a steak dinner, I'll tell you that. The contribution. That's why I'm like, man, I'm generous like that too. That's why I got my 49% whatever I accumulate after I move. Right now, it's on hold right now. because I need all my money to move, because I gotta go. And so I just need a place to land. That's it, just a place to land. But it's hard because in California, people aren't as pet friendly as everyone claims to be. And mom, between us, we got Sassy never leaves mom's lap, but we got 4 or 5 dogs and a cat, and that's what I want to buy. But I got stuff to get out. It's just everything's a mess. Being a grown up, it ain't easy to do. So I'm gonna go back. We're gonna make a world so we can go back and play. We're gonna go back and do everything. Everything's gonna be like playground rules again. You got a beef with somebody, you talk it out. You talk it out. And if you can't talk it out, and if there's lines that have been crossed, and if there's respect there that's been trampled on, then there are ways you can go to blows if you want to, but there's also karma of harming another human being, and people don't realize, because they don't get in a fight a lot, so they don't realize how easy it is to break the structure. And we're seeing it in videos, man. We're seeing people lose their shit, and they're going after people with like tire irons. Tire iron isn't. I mean, it's like what, 20 pounds? No, like 8 pounds. They don't weigh a lot, but just crack. That's somebody's skull, dude, like an egg. And people don't know that. And then they do it, and they're like, oh shit. That's why I meditate. That's why I meditate an hour a day. That is my spiritual. If I can lay there for an hour, and I use binaural beats. I listen to Rasa Latasuka. I listen to a lot of people, Michael Seeley, Lillian Eden, a lot. I listen to music. I can do it to music, just opera. It don't matter. It's just not jumping on any thought train. If I can do that for an hour and keep my still for myself an hour during the day, regardless of what is going on in life around me, if like, then whatever happens in life, I can show up, and whoever gets in my face and whoever it's my bearing is like, I don't have to lose my contents, because I'm a peaceful being. So I don't have to go to the vibrational frequency into which they are. I don't have to get pissed with them. None of us do, and I'm seeing it, I love flowers. I want to see everybody just hand it here. Here's a flower. Peace. Flowers are the freaking... I was born in April, so I'm a flower. I was born in April 9th. I'm a spring flower, so I love all things bright. I love all things fragrant. I love all things natural and beautiful and curvy and pointy and thorns. I mean, it's all aspect. We're all evil motherfuckers, and we're all joyous beings. It's where do you spend 51% of the time acting out as? I feel bad a lot. I'm physically constantly in physical pain because I used to work too hard, because I'm short man's Napoleon complex, short man in a woman's body. I was born an old man. Just always like doing dude stuff, but I had all this feminine in me, and then every time that start to come out, the tender loving part, I'd be like, that's weak. Get the fuck out of here with that wussy ass shit. Get the fuck with this. I said, no. Hugs? Really? And then what I found out is I love hugs, and I'm good at them. And I love all that girly stuff. And I'm good at putting on makeup, people, myself, And so I have all these different things in common, because I like all the manly stuff, and I like all the girly stuff too. I like it all, because we're all full aspects, and people are dropping genders, and they're like, you can't do that because of this. One day I want to take ballroom dancing, and I'm gonna be the lead. Yeah. Because I've been doing choreography and imagining what it'd be like to be in a kind and loving relationship for 46 years, trying to find the right idea of the right penguin for me. Someone just wants to pal around, do stuff, hang out, have a good time, eat good food, hang out with mom, tell stories. Someone's going to be good to her and the dogs as much as I would be to them and all theirs. Just combining, merging. I love when the light changes, when I get fired up. So the world is changing, man. Find your guild. Find your same freak tribe. People are coming in close in frequency because everybody's staying home and in the same, and they're playing their video games and stuff like that. But that gets boring. When you get to do, everybody had a chance to do whatever they want. It's like everyone wished, I don't want to go to this job. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to that. And then the world shuts down. And then what are people doing with all the free time that they have? What have they done with it? What kind of choices? What are you thinking about? What are you scrolling? What's in your temp folder? What's in your percent 10%? If people came in and saw what you had in your percent 10%, would you be embarrassed? You know, what are you looking up? Are you looking up, you know, the history of what the world really has been? Or what this freaking bullshit? I mean, it's insulting. It's fucking straight up insulting, the scenarios that we've been given, you know, to buy into. Recently, I came across thousands of pictures I've taken when I was in Greece for Operation Iraqi Bullshit. Actual photos. The hard copy. I've taken pictures my whole life. And I didn't start going digital till like 2000. 2007 heavily. So that's when my print started, but I've always been in computers because that's what I went to college for. So my data print is huge. My clearances, they go all the way up to top secret. I didn't have top secret for very long because I don't want that shit. I don't want to come across shit. I don't want to know what they know. I don't want to know what they're going up to. And then, and lo and behold, there was a little light anomaly up there. And I don't want to know, you know, because they're all freaking wasting time. They're all wasting money. I saw this shit. I saw it off it, man. The journals, the officers, the brass, they'd freaking fly out at, you know, a training mission at 10 o'clock in the morning after a nice full breakfast and nice shit, you know. They jump on a plane and make all of us pay for it, you know. This is a training mission. They fly out to Virginia, you know, play some rounds of golf with all the bros, you know. Both sides of the greedy circle, you know. Because it's all a show, like the countries that hate each other and stuff. It's all a show. They all play golf together. They're all you know, before the world shut, you know. And then they come home. They're home by freaking 4, you know, when the planes start landing from their training missions, you know. And then Looking Glass flew around there. When that one came in, that was every now and again, because that thing was always in the air. It had satellites all over it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, Looking Glass. They've been collecting data for a very long time. You know, and then say, no, we haven't been doing that. We don't know what you're talking about. That's crazy. But see, look how many people profit from it because, you know, kids want to be loyal to their parents, and their parents, when they're a part of that program and they benefit from it and they've done 20 years, 25, 30 years, and then they get out of that and then they go into you know, so all the Operation Iraqi bullshit era, they got out from all the retired, and then now they're all the ones that have been in the Congress and stuff. So they took that control paradigm with chess mentality, control freak, make them dance, puppet dance. They used to make us stand out on the flight line. They'd take people from different work centers, like 2 or 3 from each group. So there'd be like 20 people along the flight line, and they would have them stand out. Because I'd be like, no, I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that shit. I know I'm not gonna. No, get somebody else. You know, I ain't doing that because they'd have them stand on the flight line for like 2-3 hours. So 2-3 hours for 20 people. That's a lot of the people's time that you're wasting. So when a fucking general takes off, they can literally fucking wave at him. I'm not even shitting you. This is the shit that they do. This is it's all a fucking pony show. It's the dumbest, and that's why I only did 6 years. Because I'm like, dude, I don't got a dick, so I don't need to be a part of your swinging wiener club because I don't got a dick, so I'm never going to win your club, so I'm just going to, you know. So I went and I was a part of other paradigms, so I went and worked in Big Corp, West Corp. Go look up West Corp. I know who all the dirty pervs in that kind of paradigm are. Then I didn't like that, so I'm going to go check out the paradigm of the hospital. Then I saw the seedy freaking bullshit and the coding and all the, and, you know, and that the out of control grossness of that. Didn't like that. So then I went over and worked on the university side. Because in school, academics, what could be wrong there? Well, I worked at a Jesuit university. And boy, were my eyes open there to the reality. They called their IT department Do It. Do It. They thought it was cute, funny, and clever. Department of Information Technology. Do it. I'm like, yeah, farts aren't funny. There's more things are way more funnier than farts, and you know, and it's because these mentality of these boys that are always told that nothing they ever do is wrong. And they're always given, then they get in positions of power because of who they're related to, but they really don't have very good ideas. They really don't. And then they all just hire their friends and their buddies and stuff, and it's just really kind of a joke. Cat? I'm embarrassed because when I walked this way, I looked down and I couldn't see him, but when I came back, he's lazily on the sunning chair. I should have just walked over and looked on the chair. I'm not that smart. I never think I'm that smart. So I think I'm done though, because I'm getting hot. But I want to go in and watch an episode of the Umbrella Academy because it's been an emotionally taxing day, you know. But I thank you for sharing. I thank you for, and I'm excited to see more people. That's the thing of it is. Good boy, Benny. I love you so much. You badass. Is people are finding a higher power. I don't care if you call it God. I don't call it, it's good orderly direction. But people are really coming into their heart that they want to do the right thing. And when they feel good, you take that out in the world. And even if the world is, so it's just like meditating. Even if the world is falling apart around you, at least dance. You know what I mean? At least have a good time while you're going out. You know what I mean? At least bring some joy into, you know, because everybody's dash has an end date, you know. But if we can stretch those out, you know, and source power, so whatever I feel like I connect to might be different than what you feel like you're connecting to. When you tune out, if you try to meditate, meditating can be playing video games. Meditating is painting. Meditating is at the laundromat, zoning out, watching the dryer. Meditating is so many things. It's just, and it's all those senses, all those things that you feel, all those things that you hear. It's not schizophrenia. It's, unless you get, I don't think it's, no, it's never schizophrenia. Those are clinical terms that people put on other people to make them feel bad about themselves. It's never schizophrenia. Those are negative attachment. Straight up level. If you're hearing voices that are telling you to harm yourself, those are straight up vibrational frequencies, demons that are attached to you, and they're tampered into your own way, you know. So anybody that's thinking thoughts like I need to harm, that ain't you, dude. That ain't you, because you, human spirit, as Looking Glass demonstrates, is that the human spirit is designed to thrive. It's always the little weed that comes up out of the concrete or it comes out of the brick wall. It's always that. That is nature's way to go watch The Fifth Element. It's all to nature is, it's always about survival. So anybody or anything that tries to tell you different, they are the dark. They are on the right side. And if anybody that is spending too much time in the dark side, because you can dabble in the dark, do a freaking spell. You know, cut cats open. There's karma related to that. People have free will. That's the thing, is people have lived in their free will and they're like, oh shit, karma's real. And then they're like, oh god, now I gotta start living different because I'm gonna have to freaking, reincarnation is real too, and one day I'm gonna die and I'm gonna have to meet source, and then I'm gonna meet all the shit in a worse kind of way that I ever dished out to anybody else. So a lot of people are going to have a lot of making up to do here pretty quick, so the world's going to get pretty good. Don't anybody worry about a thing, y'all. Have faith in something bigger than yourself. Everything will be alright. The kingdoms are falling, and when the kingdoms fall in the guild, after the guild wars and things come together, that is Michael the Peace Dealer's deal. I don't know much about that video game, but the guild wars are real and they're about to go down. So find your guild, find your same frequency tribe, the people you tune in with, and people that you tune in with, don't make them people that you just agree with all the time. Don't just have yes people around you. Have people that are contrary to your own belief system. It always helps aid and giving you a different way of thinking about things. Because every day people of all ages are giving me things to think about, and I've been standing corrected. I stand corrected. I was wrong. This is up until now. I've received all this data input that has given me this conclusion. But now, based on what you have told me, I'm willing to take that and open to receive that and take that in consideration. And I'm willing to change my mind. Yep. And more people are starting to do that. And that's about all I got for now. I hope you have a